Next is the reduction of fructose. As we reduce the glucose, same kind of reaction occurs with the fructose. That means fructose in the presence of reducing agent such as sodium amalgam NaHG. I had already told you in the electrochemistry, when we use the word amalgam, it means we are talking about mercury. So when sodium amalgam in the presence of water is added to the fructose, there is the reduction. Two hydrogen atoms get attached to the fructose. This is fructose. Further, it undergo reduction and product is the sorbitol, and there are two products, sorbitol and mannitol. So this is sorbitol and this is mannitol. This is sorbitol and mannitol. If you remember the reduction of glucose in the presence of sodium amalgam and mercury, there was only one product which was sorbitol. And here two products are found, one is sorbitol and other is the mannitol. What is the difference between the sorbitol and mannitol? Difference lies only on this carbon, which was the carbonyl carbon in fructose. Here hydroxyl group is present on the right hand side of the carbon, whereas here hydroxyl group is present on the left hand side of the carbon that undergo reduction. Whereas when we treat this fructose with the hydrogen iodide in the presence of phosphorus, as we did in the glucose at 373 Kelvin, there was a product which was N-hexane plus 2-iodohexane. Further, fructose also undergo oxidation. In case of oxidation, when it is treated with the nitric acid, that is HNO3, there are two products. One is trihydroxy glutaric acid. This is trihydroxy. There are three hydroxyl groups, and this is glutaric acid, and other is the glycolic acid and tartaric acid. So this is trihydroxy glutaric acid, this is glycolic acid, and this is tartaric acid. So this product is formed due to the cleavage between C1 and C2, whereas this product is formed due to the cleavage between C2 and C3. Which is C1 and C2? This is C1 and this is C2. Further, if you write the full detailed structure, there will be C2 and C3. C2 and C3 will be, this is C2 and next CHOH group is the C3 carbon. So these are the different products formed, and you can compare these products with the glucose. There was only one product. Next is the reducing nature. Fructose, unlike simple ketone, reduces Fehling solution and Tollern reagent. So here again fructose reduces Fehling solution and Tollern reagent. This is due to the reason that alkaline medium of these reagents, first for fructose undergo Hankin-Stein rearrangement to form an equilibrium mixture of glucose, fructose and mannose. Glucose and mannose thus producted bring about the reduction of these reagents. So this reaction is similar to the reaction of glucose. What is? One was Westphalic solution, and other is the Tollman reagent. So it acts as a reducing agent. Next is the acetylation of fructose. This is a fructose. Next we will see how does it undergo acetylation. When treated with acetic anhydride, it forms fructose pentaacetate. So fructose, when treated with it consumes 5 molecules of acetic anhydride and result in the formation of fructose pentaacetate. So this is fructose pentaacetate. So you can see here this hydroxyl group is changes to acetate group, and further all the hydroxyl group changes to acetate group, whereas this carbonyl carbon remains intact. So this is the fructose pentaacetate plus 5 molecules of acetic acid CH3COOH. Next is the action with methyl alcohol. So fructose reacts with the methanol to form the mixture of alpha and beta methyl fructosides. Next are the formation of fructosides. Next are the action with the acids. So how does fructose react with the acid? Let's see. When you take the fructose, I am writing just here molecular formula of fructose. When fructose is treated with the HCl and heated, further it results in the formation of levulinic acid and formic acid. So this is levulinic acid, formic acid plus water H2O. So next are the action with the alkalis. So and next we will see the open chain structure of fructose. So open chain structure of fructose. This is similar to glucose. With the help of certain reaction, we concluded that glucose possesses open chain structure. What kind of open chain structure of glucose there will be? So here we will study the open chain structure of fructose. So first of all, molecular formula of fructose as determined from the elemental analysis and molecular weight determination, it is C6H12O6. Further presence of ketonic group is confirmed by the different reaction of fructose as we did yesterday, where fructose formed the product of fructose was when fructose was treated with the C6H12O6. When it treated with the hydrogen cyanide, it result in the formation of cyanohydrin. You can see it from the yesterday's lecture. There was the formation of cyanohydrin. This kind of reaction was also present in the glucose, where we treated the HCl and there was formation of cyanohydrin. Further we treated the NH2OH, there was a formation of oxime. And when we treated this fructose with the phenylhydrazine, it resulted in the formation of phenylhydrazone. So there are different products like cyanohydrin, oxime and phenylhydrazone. These are formed. Further, all these reaction occurs on the ketonic group of fructose. So these reaction confirm that there is a presence of ketonic group because hydrogen cyanide reacts on the ketonic carbon, hydroxylamine also reacts on the ketonic carbon, and phenylhydrazine also reacts on the ketonic carbon. So it means in fructose there is the presence of ketonic group or carbonyl group. So fructose reacts with all these All these reactions suggest that fructose contains the carbonyl group. And what is carbonyl group? This is carbonyl group. So this group is present in the fructose. Next are the fructose on oxidation with nitric acid gives a mixture of trihydroxyglutaric acid. This was the reaction. So next reaction was this. There was a formation of this trihydroxyglutaric acid and tartaric acid and glycolic acid. So all these reactions shows that carbonyl group present in fructose is a ketonic group, because these reagents are very specific toward the ketonic group, like HNO3 are very specific. Further, the presence of ketonic group in fructose is further confirmed by the fact that fructose is not oxidized by the bromine water. That fructose does not react with the bromine water. It means there is the ketonic group. So these are the some reactions of the fructose. So next are the chain lengthening and chain shortening of aldoses. Chain lengthening. Let's do it on next page because it is a lengthy reaction. Next is the chain lengthening and shortening in aldoses. So what does it mean, chain lengthening? As I told you that in the monosaccharide number of carbon varies from 3C3 to 7. There can be 3 carbons in a monosaccharide or there can be 7 carbons in a monosaccharide. So chain lengthening or shortening means that whether we are able to convert this 3 carbon containing monosaccharide into 4 carbon containing monosaccharide or 4 carbon containing monosaccharide into 5 carbon containing monosaccharide or 7 carbon containing monosaccharide. So there are the different reactions which can be explained in chain lengthening and shortening of aldoses. Further, a larger monosaccharide, that is 7 or 6 or 5 carbon or 4 carbon containing monosaccharide, can be converted into corresponding lower monosaccharide. So this can be done with the lengthening of carbon chain, and this is called Kiliani-Fisher synthesis. So Kiliani-Fisher synthesis is helpful in converting an aldose into next higher aldose containing one more carbon atom, and this whole synthesis consists of the following 4 steps. So let us suppose that we are taking arabinose. Arabinose is a 5 carbon containing monosaccharide, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So let me write the formula of arabinose. First of all, if hydroxyl group is present on one carbon, then on same carbon other will be the hydrogen group. Let us see here that if there is on this carbon hydroxyl group is present, then on opposite to it hydrogen will be present. Here hydroxyl group is present, opposite to it hydrogen is present. Further on this carbon hydroxyl group is present here on right hand side, so hydrogen is present on the left hand side of the group. Further it is called as D-arabinose. D-arabinose. Further, in Kiliani-Fisher synthesis, first of all, aldose is treated with the given aldose. It can be lower aldose, that is this aldose contains 1 2 3 4 and 5 carbon. You can take a lower aldose like containing 3 carbon or 4 carbon. So we are starting from the this arabinose which contains the 5 carbon. So first of all, in this scheme any aldose is treated with the hydrogen cyanide. So it will result in the formation of cyanohydrin. So this is called gluconitrile. Further product formed in this step is further hydrolyzed in the presence of acid H positive and H2O. Further this product is heated and there is the loss of molecule of water. And further this product is treated in the last step with sodium amalgam and water in the presence of acid H2SO4, maintaining pH as 3.4 to 4.0, and there is the formation of last product which is this is D-glucose. Further So this product is called mannose. So first of all, let's see here that there is a little bit difference between the glucose and mannose. Here configuration on C1, that is CH2OH. At carbon 2 there is a hydroxyl group on the right hand side. There is also, and on the next carbon there is hydroxyl group again on the right hand side, whereas on the 1 2 3 and this is the fourth carbon. So at fourth carbon, fourth and fifth carbon, you will see at fourth carbon there is a hydroxyl group on the left hand side, again here on the left hand side. But on the fifth carbon here, in case of glucose, the hydroxyl group on the right hand side, whereas in case of mannose, the hydroxyl group on the left hand side. And further on sixth carbon, this carbon, basically when you will count as per the IUPAC, this aldehydic carbon will be called as first carbon. So 1 2 3 4 5 6, I was counting from downwards, so I was just telling you that this was the first carbon. So there is a little bit difference between the glucose and mannose because of the direction of the hydroxyl group on this carbon next to the aldehydic carbon. Here hydroxyl group is present on the right hand side in case of glucose, whereas in case of mannose the hydroxyl group is present on the left hand sides, and both of these were formed from the arabinose. How? When arabinose is treated with the HCN, that is hydrogen cyanide, there is the formation of this gluconitrile and mannonitrile. From this very first reaction that difference arises. How? Let see here that cyanide group or nitrile group is attached to the first carbon, that is aldehydic carbon. With there one hydroxyl group also comes. In case of this gluconitrile, hydroxyl group comes on the right hand side, whereas in this mannonitrile the hydroxyl group comes to the left hand side. So it's not so that tough. Further in the next step, when acidic hydrolysis is done, so you can take first of all one reaction, try to understand one reaction, then you will understand this line also, that is the formation of mannose. So in first step we just treated the given aldose, that can be arabinose or lower aldehyde. If you start from the erythrose or threose, lower aldehyde, then there will be the formation of arabinose and its corresponding other sugar. So we started from the arabinose, and in first step we treated the given aldose with the HCN. So there was the formation of corresponding nitrile. This kind of two nitriles will be formed. In one nitrile the hydroxyl group will be present on the hydroxyl group on the second carbon after formation of nitrile. This is the first carbon, this is the second carbon. So hydroxyl group on the in one nitrile, hydroxyl group will be present on the right hand side, whereas in the next in its corresponding other nitrile the hydroxyl group will be present on the left hand side. Further, after treating with the HCN, we will treat the given aldose. In next step we will treat with the acidic hydrolysis. So in acidic hydrolysis there will be the formation of corresponding carboxylic acid. So in case of this glucose, there is the formation of gluconic acid. So in next step the formed gluconic acid will be treated with the sodium amalgam in the presence of water and a acid, that is H2SO4 at pH 3.5 to 4.0, and there will be the formation of this glucose. Whereas in corresponding reaction also go in the same way, and there will be the formation of two isomers. These are the products of the Klyani-Fischer synthesis. So there is the formation of these two isomers, and which are called epimers. And definition of epimers: a pair of diastereomeric aldoses which differ in the configuration only at one of the chiral carbon atom are called epimers. So where does their configuration difference on the differentiates on this second carbon? Here hydroxyl group is present on the right hand side, and here hydroxyl group is present on the left hand side. So there is the formation of epimers in Kalyani-Fisher synthesis. So Kalyani-Fisher synthesis leads to the formation of epimers. So you can be asked in exam in whether this is true or false. There will be a statement that Kalyani-Fisher synthesis leads to the formation of epimers. Is this statement true or false? So you will tick on the true word, that is, this is a true statement. So in Kalyani-Fisher synthesis, first of all you treat the given aldose with the HCN, and which result in the formation of nitrile. Further, in next step, acidic hydrolysis is done. So after acidic hydrolysis, there is the corresponding carboxylic acids of both the epimers is formed. In next step, there is the heating of the aldose, which result in the loss of water, and there will be formation of this lactone. There will be the formation of lactone. Lactone is general term like aldehyde, ketone, and some other. Lactone is also a functional group, and meaning of the lactone is just cyclic ester, and this is the esteryl group, RCOOR. So this is a ester. So when there is the formation of the cyclic ester, like this is called lactone. So here it is the cyclic ester. This is the carbonyl group, this is further oxygen, and this is the cyclic group. So this is the lactone is formed on heating. There is a loss of water molecule, and further in last step the lactone is reduced in the presence of sodium amalgam plus H2SO4. pH is maintained at 3.55 to 4.0 in the presence of water. There will the formation of final product which is the next higher aldose corresponding to the reactant taken, and there will be the formation of epimers. So keep it in mind, in Kalyani-Fisher synthesis there will be two products and both are epimers. What are epimers? Epimers are those isomers or diastereomers which differ in the configuration only at one chiral carbon. So this is the Kalyani-Fisher synthesis. You can try this synthesis with some other lower monosaccharides, like you can take like erythrose, threose, or glyceraldehyde, or right now you have taken arabinose, or you can take other like ribose, xylose, lixose. So there will be the formation of corresponding higher aldose as per the Kalyani-Fisher synthesis. So let me repeat again. In first step you will treat the given aldose with HCN. In next step you will do acidic hydrolysis. In after that you will heat the given formed product with the loss of molecule and water. There will be the formation of lactone, and what is a lactone? It is the cyclic ester. So just ester in a cyclic form. So this is the cyclic ester, and in next step you will reduce the given formed product with the sodium amalgam in the presence of water and H2SO4, and maintaining the pH at 3.5 to 4.0 and water. So there will be the formation of two products. And here when we started from this arabinose, there was the formation of glucose plus mannose, and both are epimers to each other. Epimers mean when two diastereomer differ on the configuration at one carbon. So only at one carbon, single carbon. It's not a one number that C1, C2, C3 or C4. It is just any of they can differ on the configuration at any of the carbon. So this is the epimer. So this is the Kalyani-Fisher synthesis.